Hey everyone, welcome to There's Nobody Here Named Josh podcast, where we are true to the name. There is nobody here currently named Josh. I say that every week, and one day there's going to be a Josh here.
Yeah, then we're going to be fucking liars, aren't we?
Yeah.
Yeah, but they're just going to be really pissed off.
One day.
I'm going to be most pissed off.
Well, you guys, I was going to introduce us, but our listeners know who we are anyways.
Yeah, I'm Jim Bob.
Jim Bob?
How y'all doing? My name's Trevor.
Oh my god.
Yeah?
All right, so before we get officially, again, we got to lay down the ground rules for everyone listening.
Wait, what's your name, though?
Oh, my name is Cliff.
Okay, cool.
Cliff.
Hi, Cliff.
There's nobody here named Josh. Jim Bob, are you named Josh?
I don't think so.
Trevor, are you Josh?
No.
No, I'm not Josh.
I do have a Josh chained up to my radiator, though. Does that count?
That does
Is he
count.
in the
Down
same-
over there, you son of a bitch!
I mean, if he's in the same room as you, then yes, it counts. Otherwise, you're good.
Yeah, I just gotta hit him with a stick every now and then. Sorry.
Every now and then. Now, on to the topic of the day. Now, we've been teasing this type of episode for quite a while now. And I'm surprised it's lasted this long before we got to this episode. We are going to talk about Doctor Who. I love that. You know,
Oh my god.
when I was a kid, honestly, that the opening sequence of the original Doctor Who TV series frightened the shit out of me.
It is
You
pretty
know what?
spooky.
9th and 10th Doctor opening kind of spooked me a little bit first time I saw it.
You know, I have a question for you. Can you guys hear my TV that's blaring in the background?
Nope.
No?
Oh, good. Because I'm in my office and my TV is going on in my living room and I have my door open, so I was wondering if you could hear me. But I guess not.
Can't hear a thing.
Awesome.
You're good.
So that's again, when I was a kid, Doctor Who was still on TV, and up until the early '90s, Doctor Who was on TV, and I was frightened of it. I was frightened of the opening of Doctor Who. It was spooky. It was.
Oh, look at
Doctor
you
Who
now.
was still on TV. Nixon was still in the office.
You know what I mean?
Coke cost 10 cents.
Coke cost 10 cents. Yes, I'm old. I'm that old, okay? I'm that old, all right?
Back in my day!
I could see 40. I could see 40 from here, man. So
How's it looking?
it's looking pretty good.
There's some
Looking
pretty
like a
cute
lot of
40-year-olds.
erectile
There's some
dysfunction.
there's some pretty cute 40-year-olds out there, man. Don't worry.
Hey, man, I'm not one of them.
Wow.
I'm not one of them. I'm not one of them. So
Oh, that was a self-deprecating one. Jesus.
So Doctor Who, for people who aren't listening, if you're listening to us right now and you don't know who Doctor Who is,
Leave.
like literally, because I have a feeling our demographic would understand and know Doctor Who.
We're gonna get so many angry emails now.
Well, I
Have you
want.
gotten any emails?
We haven't got any emails. As far as we have gotten emails, but they're all junk,
Yeah, just
like
Start
spam
plugging
emails.
the email more. We need to do that at the very end of the show.
We should do that right now.
send
Are
us your fan
Isn't
art, your nudes. Send us.
Isn't it TNHNJ at Yahoo?
At yahoo.com. That's right.
.com. There you go.
That's right.
TNHNJ at yahoo.com. Email us stuff. Tell us
Yeah.
what to do, please.
It's acronym. It's the acronym. It's super easy.
We're running out of ideas.
Yeah, it's our acronym for the show. There's nobody here named Josh,
Save
but the
us.
acronym.
Mm.
All right. So again, if you haven't heard of Doctor Who, you're listening to us, you haven't heard of Doctor Who. Give your head a shake
Mhm.
and get up from under your rock.
Go watch Doctor Who and then come back.
Go watch Doctor Who and come back. We'll wait.
Wait, now here's a good question though.
Sure.
Which Who?
Okay. Ooh, that's right. That's right. Because
There's two there's two categories. There's classic Who and current Who.
New Who.
New Who?
Yeah.
New
Yeah.
Who. That's what they call it. Classic Who and New Who.
New Who is a little easier to get into, and then if you have a love for it, then you can go back and get into Classic Who and really appreciate it as a whole.
I don't know about that, man.
I would agree with that, actually.
I don't know about that. Okay.
I think in today's sort of psychology, I would argue that's probably a good idea.
Yeah, I mean, just go with the new stuff because I think the older stuff is probably a little harder for the average person to get into, right? Like it's pretty fucking dated.
Yeah.
It's dry. And
Very British.
Very British. The effects
very British.
Effects are pretty shitty. It's a lot of friggin' cardboard tubes and styrofoam and stuff. But I mean, it's cute and it's campy and it's classic sci-fi in that sense. But that's just gonna get into. Whereas the newer stuff, I think it's just a more approachable for a general audience. Mm-hmm. Actually, better.
Yes, Doctor Who. Okay, for people who don't know, is a British science fiction television show that started in the BBC back in 1963.
Ironically, on the day that Kennedy died.
Yeah, on the exact day that Kennedy died, that Kennedy was shot, Doctor Who debuted. And pardon, what were you going to say?
Yeah, that happened.
That did happen.
I'm adding to the conversation.
Thank you, Will.
Look, okay. My friend told me that she listens to the show, and she said to me that she's very upset that I don't talk more. So
you should talk more, Will.
You should talk more.
You have a very beautiful voice.
No, you.
Yes.
Got him.
All right, so the show's about this extraterrestrial being that looks human,
a Time Lord.
But he's a Time Lord from the planet Gallifrey, and he's called the Doctor. Right?
But Doctor what?
Exactly.
Sorry, Doctor Who. Sorry.
That's right.
Fuck. I messed up. I'm sorry.
That's
right. That's right.
The running joke. He's the Doctor. Doctor Who. Exactly.
Well, exactly.
British humor.
That actually has shown up at least once or twice a season since it was rebooted in 2005.
Yeah.
The words Doctor Who has shown up a couple seasons said by characters in the show at least once or twice. Probably more than that.
Was it Capaldi's Capaldi's Doctor where someone didn't ask and he got all upset and was trying to lead them into asking?
Yeah,
he was. Yeah.
There was one, I can't remember who it was. I think it was was it Smith, I think, where someone was just like, he's the Doctor, and then someone was like, the Doctor of what? And then he just looked at him all like angry. It was so funny.
Oh, that's definitely Capaldi then.
Yeah. Now, Doctor Who originally ran from 1963 to 1989.
The year I was born.
That's a long time, man. 1963 to 1989. And then there was a movie in the mid-90s or something. Somewhere in the 90s. There was a movie.
96, I believe.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Well, no, that was... maybe. Yeah.
Do you see what happened? Do you see what happened there? In 1989, I was born, and then I was too precious, so they had to stop Doctor Who so that everyone could pay attention to me. And then by 96, I worn out my welcome, so they started back up with the show.
And
that's what happened.
That is exactly what happened.
I'm sorry.
How did
I'm sorry,
you know?
everyone. I'm sorry, everyone. I recently found out, and I just want to apologize for just being the cutest baby in the world. But
I would also like to apologize for last week's disrespectful audio that I had.
Yeah, yes, it was very disrespectful.
Yeah, you should be ashamed of yourself.
And it was genuinely awful.
Now, the cool thing about Doctor Who, though, at least I think, there's two cool things about Doctor Who, at least in my eyes.
Only two.
In my eyes, the top
Only two?
The top two cool things about Doctor Who, in my opinion, you guys may have other ones, and please add them on if you do, is his ship.
The TARDIS.
Which appears as a blue British police call box from 1963. Mm-hmm. The TARDIS, again, an acronym. Do you guys know what the acronym is?
Yep. Time and relative dimension in space, I think it is.
Nice.
Correctamundo.
That's right. So that's the acronym. But do you know
why it's stuck like a police box?
I do.
The chameleon circuit is busted.
Hell yeah, look at us. Just a bunch of friggin'
We're
bunch of Who nerds.
We're Who nerds.
Are we just revealing to each other that we know what we're talking about?
Yeah.
This might be the only episode that we actually do know what we're talking about.
We're revealing to each other that we know what we're talking about. Like we discussed very briefly before the. Sorry to go behind the scenes. We discussed briefly before the episode how we're gonna do this, and we didn't actually like solidify how much each person knows about Doctor Who.
We're finding out so much about each other. I like it.
Well, here's a confession that I'm going to tell you right now. Okay,
can't relate.
Back in
the Sonic, I was hooked.
Back in 2000, when I returned to Sault Ste. Marie after leaving to go to school, back there's I just heard your Sonic. Back in I think it was 2000. I came back here in 2008, and I was unemployed by 2010. I think, by 2010, I was unemployed for a while. And I posted on my Facebook page. This is exactly how I started watching Doctor Who. I posted on my Facebook page that I wanted to binge an episode of something. And I put it on there, and someone, I forget who it was, put Doctor Who. And Doctor Who was just freshly on Netflix at the time. And I said, sure, why the hell not? So I started from season 1, episode 1, Rose. Well, Doctor 9, right? Episode 1, Rose. Mm-hmm. And I completely binge watched the entire first 2 seasons in a day and a half.
Yeah, that sounds about right.
Yeah.
I can't. I did the same thing.
Yeah.
Someone told me watch this, and I was like, okay, cool. And then I watched like 3 seasons in a day, pretty much.
Mm-hmm.
Or I shouldn't say in a day, in one sitting.
I'm not gonna lie. Like I think I also have Netflix to thank for my love of Doctor Who. I remember hearing about it and seeing advertisements for it and just general background chatter because I'm pretty big in the science fiction community. Like I follow a lot of that stuff, and came across it on Netflix after I had gotten a subscription, right, and started binging, and like immediately just fell in love with the show. I loved the concept, I loved the characters, like just a damn good show, man.
It is. It's a very good show. A super good show. Now, did you know that Doctor Who has a tie-in with Canada?
Didn't they film a bunch of stuff here?
Yeah. But the head of drama at the BBC back in 1963 was a gentleman by the name of Sidney Newman. Okay. And Sidney Newman, who was mainly responsible. Now, there was like 3 or 4 people that came into the responsibility for developing Doctor Who back in 1963. But Sidney Newman, who was the head of drama at the BBC, is Canadian. He's a Canadian film and television producer.
My God.
And he played a pioneering role in British television drama from the late 1950s to 1960s. And so he created Doctor Who while working at the BBC. So that's
I also awesome. Have knowledge for you that you may find interesting. So the episode with the flying double-decker bus?
Yes. Mm-hmm. Yes.
So originally the plan wasn't to have the second double-decker bus broken on the other planet, but it got all busted up and dented and damaged in shipping. So they said, well, fuck it. It's a wormhole.
Wow.
That's funny. Oh, yeah. I like how they just we're not going to fix it, so we'll just write it in.
It's broken now.
Yeah, it makes sense.
Yeah, because of a wormhole, and now no one can just walk through the wormhole to get back. We fixed our plot hole.
Beautiful.
That was the first episode I ever saw, I think.
With the double-decker bus?
Yeah, with Tennant, right?
That was Tennant.
Happy Easter.
And that princess chick. Was it that princess?
The lady.
The lady, yeah, that was it.
Yeah, that was the first episode I'd ever seen, and I don't know why I started with that one. I can't even remember how I got. It's been so long, my God. But for whatever reason,
that one's a one-off too. It's pretty good.
Yeah, and that was like that hooked me. I was like, oh, this is really cool. So this is what this is about. It's basically just like adventures in space with some weird dude, and I was like, okay, cool. Yeah, I was like, let's see more, and like that's why I'll always love David Tennant. Another thing is like everyone has their doctor, right? Like their favorite doctor, the one that got them into it, and mine will always be Tennant. True. Now I have some love and respect for the other doctors, but to me, he's like the quintessential doctor. Like he just did everything like he's such a phenomenal actor, and I think he just encompassed that role so well. It drew you in, really. Like I was always waiting for him to just either like snap or start laughing or tell a joke, or like when he got mad. Yeah, the Alonzi was good. Plus, he was wearing Converse. I thought that was pretty cool, and this little friggin' trench coat and business suit. And I was like, yeah, man, he's a styling looking guy.
I've always been torn between Tennant and Smith.
Really?
I did enjoy Smith, but
Smith was good. His fez and his bow tie, it hit me. It hit me in the heart.
Well, that's because his bow ties are cool.
Bow ties are cool. Fezzes are cool. Stetons are cool. Bunk beds are cool. A bed with a ladder. You can't beat that.
No, you can't.
Direct quote.
That's good actually. My favorite episode is from the Matt Smith run.
Ooh, which one?
The Van Gogh one.
Oh, I just watched that.
That
one
was
yesterday.
so good.
I cried actually at the end of that episode.
Hands down, the best.
That was one of my favorite episodes ever.
Like, and as an artist and like somebody who like I've gone to school for design and like art is sort of my background. Like, so I've always known about Van Gogh. I've seen Van Gogh's and like his history. I'm a big Van Gogh fan, and like I know all about his history and that he was basically vilified and hated in his life. And so when they brought him to see an exhibit of his work, and then they're asking the art director what he thought of Van Gogh, and Van Gogh was standing behind him there, and like I broke down. I started bawling. I was like, it was in the music, and I was like, oh my god, it's so sweet. Like it was such
beautiful,
powerful episode. Yeah.
It's a really good episode. I just watched that yesterday.
Yeah, that's by far my favorite episode. I think.
Like, I'm trying not to tear up thinking about it.
I know, right? Like I've recently just been able to start talking about it without tearing up.
It's a really good
man. You're doing better than I am.
I know, just because like the guy that they got to play Van Gogh looked just like him. Like it was such a good casting.
So good.
And the guy who's the art curator, like just oh man, such a beautiful episode.
See, you say the curator, and I always think to Day of the Doctor.
Yes, the Day of the Doctor.
Tennant and Smith and the War Doctor.
Baker.
There was actually a part in my life where I had like the interaction between like the first interaction between Tennant and Smith memorized, and I could say it like line by line.
Nice.
Yeah.
Wow.
That was a really cool concept for them to do, to bring them all together. And at the end of that, they did the little Capaldi reveal, which I thought was really cool too.
Here's another little piece of trivia for you that just popped into my head.
Ooh.
Do you know the reason why they invented the War Doctor?
Plot holes.
Enlighten me.
No, the reason why they invented the War Doctor is because Eccleston didn't want to do it.
Son of a bitch.
Did not want to come back because the Day of the Doctor was originally supposed to have the original 3 Doctors there.
I knew it was supposed to have Eccleston, but I thought there was still going to be War Doctor in it.
Nope, there was supposed to be, because Eccleston was the War Doctor. He was supposed to be the War Doctor. But,
really?
Yeah, but he was supposed to be the one that fought the Time War. But Eccleston didn't want to come back because of the whole thing. The reason why he left he only shot 1 series.
Wasn't that because of his contract?
He did a short run, yeah.
No, he was scheduled to do 2. He was scheduled to do at least 2 seasons.
See, I only heard that, like, I've always heard rather that his contract was only the 1 season to really pick up the show off the ground again.
No, he had fallings out with the higher ups at the beat.
Uh-huh.
Oh,
yeah. He had falling out. Yeah, he did. He technically quit in the middle of the season, but he finished the season. And he did the regeneration. He only did 13 episodes, but I hear, I might be wrong, but he was supposed to do 2 seasons, but he quit because of the following up.
See, I do notice that some of the episodes he doesn't like. He does seem to be a little dismissive of the whole thing.
Yeah.
I've always wondered about him.
I liked him. I always liked Eccleston.
He was so good.
He's a great actor too. Like, what is it? In 28 Days Later, I think he's in that.
Mm-hmm. He was also Sestro in G.I. Joe.
That's right. Yeah, he's a good actor, and so but I can see him. He kind of has that vibe. I really wonder. I'd like to dig a little deeper into that and see what happened. But I mean, I think it worked out for the best because Rose or Billy Piper and Tennant had such a wonderful on-screen relationship.
Billy Piper's
she's my favorite. She's by
so,
far my favorite.
But the beach, though,
so hot.
I know the
so
beach.
Hot. So hot.
She's just awesome.
I'm sorry, but Billy Piper.
Sorry, I mean,
calm down, man. I can feel the steam coming through the microphone already. Yes, she's a very attractive woman, but she was just fun and effervescent, and like her being on screen was great. And she's a very bubbly, fun kind of person, and like whenever she was sad in the show, it fucking like broke your heart. You're just like, oh no, don't be sad. Like you hated to see her upset.
What was the thing what was the joke between 9th to 10th with Rose? Was it Barcelona?
Barcelona.
I think
Barcelona.
So. Oh, I remember.
Barcelona.
Now here's a couple other things about Doctor Who. Right? Yeah, I knew
and then like they threw Catherine Tate in there, and I was just like,
fucking Donna.
Oh, I watched it, Spaceman.
Yeah. Oh, walk it, Spaceman! She's just so obnoxious.
Whoa, that's a go. I love how they made fun of it too with the second, that extra regeneration bit.
Now that's a good little segue. Now one other cool thing about Doctor Who is that regeneration thing.
Yes.
Now that is a huge sense of debate between Doctor Who in Doctor Who worlds. Now, is the War Doctor a countable doctor? Is he a number doctor, or is he like off to the side type doctor?
Okay, well, the way I've always seen it was Time of the Doctor with Matt Smith and oh my god, who was it? Jenna Coleman as Clara. Like he explained it in there. Matt Smith as the 11th is technically the 13th.
That's right.
Yeah.
He explained it there. It is canon. It is said there that it is how that works. And then, hey guys, spoilers.
Spoilers.
Hey, River Song. Spoilers.
Oh, River Song is my other, like, her and Rose are my two biggest crushes in that whole series.
I met her in real life.
I love me some River Song.
Oh god, that's right, Kevin, you did.
I met her in real life.
I'm so jealous. I want to crawl into your brain and like live that memory.
I met her in real life.
Jesus,
I was in that wool store. I forget the name of that store on Queen Street.
Woolworths?
No, I forget the name of the store. She was here to do a movie. She actually shot a movie in and around here in the Sioux and in and around it.
My God, she was in my hometown.
Yes, she came in for a sandwich.
Oh.
And I met her. And
Shabby Motley.
Shabby Motley, that's right.
Yeah,
she came.
Shout out to Shabby Motley.
She came in for a sandwich, and
those guys rock. Actually,
they do, and they
amazing sandwiches. Oh my God,
they do. And I literally stood there starstruck.
Yeah, I share that sentiment. I would have been as well.
Okay, great. So regeneration.
Okay, regeneration.
Matt Smith as 11th in Time of the Doctor explained how it worked. He said how it was, and now he got... Then in that episode, again, spoilers, obviously, he got more regeneration juice.
That's right.
Like reset the counter or something so we can have 12 more doctors.
Apparently, it didn't necessarily reset the counter. He got what was... Like what everyone is noticing is an unknown amount of extra lives.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, well, a new cycle of regenerations. We don't know how many this one has. He doesn't know. We don't know how many he has.
Aren't you only supposed? Yeah, like traditionally they're supposed to have one or something, one cycle, and then they
die.
For
a total, he's supposed to have 12 generations for a total of 13 incarnations.
Mm-hmm.
Right?
Yeah, but
now
it's at a case where he got like he got his battery charged, but we've seen his regenerations getting more and more powerful with more and more energy. So powerful that it destroyed a whole Dalek ship.
Yeah.
Like from below, which was wild. But we don't actually know how many regenerations he got, and that's where a lot of the debate comes in.
That's convenient.
Now, do you know do you know why Doctor Who regenerates?
Time Lord science and biology.
in the
because
show, that's how they
actors
call
get
it.
old and die.
Yeah, wasn't it? Didn't it have
Actually,
something to do with the first Doctor having memory
That's right.
problems?
The producers introduced the concept of regeneration to permit the recasting of the main character.
Yeah.
This was because of the health of the original Doctor Who, William Hartnell.
Who was like 80.
Right? So Hartnell's doctor said, you can't continue with this show anymore, you're going to die.
The medical doctor, not TV show doctor.
Not his actual doctor, medical doctor. Merely described undergoing a renewal. So he recommended to the producers that the character goes under a renewal. So they thought, like, okay, well, why don't the Doctor transform from one actor to another?
Well, it's an alien. You can do that.
Yeah, which I mean is a pretty clever, writing or solution for, how to change out actors, right? That gives you a lot of freedom.
Well, anytime I see someone try to take that sort of concept, it always has a Doctor Who feel to it.
That's right.
Like they made a whole fucking idea there, and it was amazing.
Well, and like the whole special effects behind it got so much better with the new series too. Like in the old series, it's just like a crossfade, and it's like, oh look, it's a new guy.
Yeah.
My favorite thing ever is the Tennant to Smith regeneration, though.
Oh, that was a good one.
Seeing Matt Smith in the Tennant outfit, all panicky. That was all improv.
That was awesome.
When Matt Smith was there. He's looking around like, oh shit, what's going on? Hey, still got legs and not ginger.
Yeah, not a ginger.
Yeah, not a ginger.
It was so good.
Yeah. What was Tennant's last words? Was it like
Tennant's last one? I don't want to go.
I don't want to go. Yeah, I was like, oh, that cried.
And then
I cried, and then I was so happy right after and then I had to stop watching and just hold my head in my hands.
Yeah, it was. No, go ahead.
It was a roller coaster.
And in the Day of the Doctor, right? I thought they were going to change it because that's the last time you saw Tennant as the Doctor in the Day of the Doctor. So I figured they were going to change his last words, because if he would have said something different other than "I don't want to go," then that would have changed the whole thing. But thankfully, when Tennant got into the TARDIS,
He was one of those sarcastic writing bits for it too.
Yeah, it was. He actually said, "I don't want to go," which kept his famous last words.
Yeah, which is awesome. And what a line too. That broke my heart. And then like you said, when Smith showed up, like such a bittersweet moment, right? Because it was at the time you're broken, and then Smith comes in and just
high energy.
High energy just makes you laugh. And yeah, he did a really good job. God
Fish
bless
fingers
him.
and custard.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, we need to try that. We need to do that. We need to do it.
Do you want to tell you what it's like?
Little side note: all of his costume, Smith's costume, was provided by the company All Saints.
Really?
Oh yeah.
Yeah, which is like a high end sort of British clothing line. They actually discontinued one of the big, really cool things, because I was trying to track down the shoes that he wears, because I loved his little booties, and they discontinued the line that he wore in the film. I ended up I have a pair of All Saints. They're super, super comfortable, but like they're definitely the kind of clothes that you just wear out to fancy things, because it did not last at all. Like,
not a sponsor.
Not a sponsor. I paid $300 for these shoes, and I had to have the soles replaced.
Oh wow!
What I really liked about them was it was supposed to be like cobble nails in the seams and stuff. So it was like, it looked like it was all handmade and old-fashioned style, but like all the cobble nails were fake and they started falling out. I was like, oh, okay, so it's one of these things where you're paying a lot of money for a look and a name and not a lot of quality. So if anybody's out there, spending up to, I'm sorry, All Saints, but I got to call you guys out.
I'm pretty sure they're listening.
Yeah, not a lot of longevity, but
I had an email the other day, actually, Aaron. We had a brand deal with All Saints.
Oh,
$20 million.
Oh my! What have I done?
$20 million.
What I will say is their stuff looks amazing, and that's why Matt Smith always looked so good. And that's something that's cool too. Is when you get property like that starts getting a lot of traction, you get a lot of, and so it's kind of neat that a lot of his costume was provided by that company.
That's really cool.
Wow, I did not know that.
I like doing that. I like tracking shit down, right? Like I'm the kind of guy that like I will pause a scene to like look at stuff, and it's only because I paused the scene and I got to see the soles of his shoes, and I saw the logo, and I tracked down, like, reverse image searched the logo and like looked for it and found out. And I did some research into some forums because a lot of other people were looking for it too. And I ended up finding out that they, at least I know for a fact, they did his shoes. And I'm a big shoe guy. I like shoes. So yeah, a little side note.
It's pretty wild. So I have something to propose to you guys.
I was already married once, man.
I was just gonna say I'll marry you, Will.
Yeah.
All right. Well, the wedding is next week, Aaron.
Perfect.
We'll do it live on the podcast.
I don't think I can fit into my dress, man. Like that quarantine hit me.
Hey, the quarantine 15 hit me too, buddy.
Actually, for me, it's more like the quarantine 30. Yeah.
All right. So Dave the Doctor brought an interesting look at what would happen if, like, Smith met Tennant, or like just two doctors met each other in the wild.
Mm-hmm.
That's the way they'd done it was like a time fissure or something, right?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
I don't remember if it was called a time fissure exactly, but it was something along those lines. So what would happen? Because obviously the Doctor has thousands of years of memories. He probably forgets a few things.
Probably.
Well, I wouldn't say so. Just as an opposition, because he has remarked in the past in the shows that he can see all of time all the time. Like he knows and sees everything. That's the burden of being a Time Lord.
And I wouldn't exactly say it would be forgetful. He just pushes it aside, but he can recall it if necessary.
Yeah, I would say, like, when I say forgets, I mean obviously, like he can remember it. It's just like off to the side.
Yeah, he's got other stuff on his mind. Yeah.
Yeah. So I wonder if
sweet Rose.
At some point, oh, Jesus Christ, I wonder if at some point
I've seen her naked.
And maybe even in one of like the off-screen adventures that are always hinted at, the Doctor ran into himself accidentally.
Oh, I'm sure.
Oh God, that's happened quite often, probably.
Well, yeah,
I would be intrigued at that.
Yeah, that's happened a lot.
I think that's a thing that he knows, like, to try not to cross his own timelines, and they've even made remarks on that in many different episodes where it's imperative that you don't cross your own timelines, even though he does all the time mess with the timelines.
Yes,
yeah, but like if it's also time travel, and a lot of his stuff happens like at the same time at different times. If that makes sense. Like you can look at two different episodes and they'd probably be happening like at the same time if we're looking like bird's eye view at the whole timeline.
Well, and that's the thing too. Like, time travel as a concept is extremely messy. It's very hard to do successfully, in just a single film, right? And you look at every franchise that's ever touched time travel. There's all kinds of
Stargate,
paradoxical loopholes. But for a show that's been running since the '60s, like, they somehow managed to deal with it pretty decently, right?
They nailed it on the head. They nailed it on the head.
What they did is they kept it consistent throughout the whole thing
and simple.
Yeah, they kept, like, they must have written down the rules somewhere. Like, there's probably like 3 rules, and they kept that forever.
Doctor always lies.
Yeah, they always refer back to like the 3 notes when they do the writing. Like, okay, how are we going to fit this in? Well, we can't do this, that, or this, so let's try this other idea.
It's wibbly wobbly, timey wimey.
That's
very true.
Wibbly wobbly, timey wimey. Now here's a little test for you guys.
Ooh.
Without looking them up, do not look them up.
All right.
Mm-hmm.
Can you tell me all the actors that have played the Doctor?
No.
Without looking them up.
No, not even close.
No, I can tell you Christopher Eccleston, Matt Smith, Tom Baker.
In order. I need them in order.
No,
get out of here. Jesus Christ.
Never.
I barely remember what happened yesterday.
Okay. All right. Well, then tell me their order from Eccleston.
Well, that's too easy.
Mm-hmm.
Go ahead.
That's like 4.
Well, that's Eccleston, Tennant, Smith, Capaldi, and the new one.
The one who shall not be named.
What is it? Jodie
Whittaker.
Yeah,
Jodie Whittaker.
I thought it was.
Got the War Doctor in there.
Yeah, William Hurt.
John Hurt.
Hurt.
John.
Well, okay. Since Eccleston, now see that's where we run into semantics there, Kev.
Mm-hmm.
Because technically, John Hurt as War Doctor 8.529.
8.529. That's right.
Mhm.
That's right. So you go if you want to know them in order, you got to go Hurt, Eccleston, Tennant, Smith.
Tennant,
But you said
Capaldi.
from Eccleston. So,
A little semantics, huh?
yeah.
So in order, because I have him here in front of me. It goes William Hartnell from 63 to 66.
Mhm.
Patrick Troughton.
The Trout Man.
From 66 to 69. John Pertwee from 70 to 74. Tom Baker from 74 to 81.
Loved him.
Peter Davidson, 82 to 84. Colin Baker from 84 to 86. Sylvester McCoy, 87 to 89. Paul McCann, only in the movie in 1996. Then it goes, if you want to get technical, John Hurt. And Christopher Eccleston, David Tennant, Matt Smith, Peter Capaldi, and Jodie Whittaker. Now,
wasn't there?
Now-
There was no. This
now-
is this is a cool one. This is a cool one.
1 second. There's another one. There's another doctor that was introduced. Now, I haven't seen these episodes yet. There's another female doctor that was introduced that was actually supposed to be before William Hartnell. What? You got all silent there.
Okay.
Yeah. In the new series with Jodie Whittaker,
Oh God.
there is a new doctor, and I haven't seen it, so I don't know the
But you
storyline.
can't do that though, because then.
But there is. There is.
No,
Yeah,
like-
because only because the whole Jodie apparently, they like writing, isn't a thing anymore, and people just grab ideas out of a hat now. She like rewrote the entire history of the Doctor because apparently having 12 doctors that were all men is misogynistic. So now it's all female doctors because that's a way to solve the problem of female representation.
I wish I said my thing, because now we're getting into a whole other thing now, and like my thing's irrelevant at this point. No, we can't talk about my thing until.
I don't think she rewrote them all. I think she just put a female doctor before the first doctor.
Well, no,
but here's the issue with that, though, right? Matt Smith already had explained, and like I'm bringing this point back. He explained all like how his lives happened, and now they're throwing in another one that makes Matt the 14th.
I don't know.
So how did you break that rule then already?
Yeah,
like I said, I haven't seen it, so I don't know.
Yeah, I completely lost interest with the series because not for anything other than like the writing is just terrible. Like it's just not.
I did watch some of the Jodie Whittaker.
Mm-hmm.
Is that?
Yeah, I watched the first season of Jodie Whittaker.
Yeah, I've seen the first season. Like it was all right. Don't get me wrong. Like it had some Doctor Who-esque feel to it, but it wasn't the same necessarily. It felt.
But again,
a bit different.
It's just following a trend of pandering. They're not writing it because it's a good story to tell. They're writing it because this is what they think the small, loud majority wants to see. And that I disagree with. If you want to have a female doctor, sure, have a female doctor. But
they had a female master too.
Yeah, and she was awesome. She was great.
Yeah, Missy Master, I love her.
Missy was wild. She was a phenomenal actress. Everything that she's in, she was in.
There's some self-cess that happened there too. It was weird.
Oh yeah, which is wild because now the Master in a nutshell, perfect. She was in Thing too. Sabrina the Teenage Witch. She played.
Oh my God.
Can't remember who, but the character's name. But yeah, she's an awesome actress and made sense. That was kind of cool. I like that. There was a fun twist, came out of nowhere, and then it worked again, right? Mm-hmm. But so it's just they're following a trend. A lot of if you want to, like, I'm not the person to talk about this, to get into this. If you really want to, look more into this stuff, and anybody listening, there's a channel called Neurotic. I've seen a couple of his videos, and this guy like does deep dives. He looks into it. He talks about the writing. He talks about politics, and he makes a lot of points. And so if you guys want to really get into that kind of thing, I would suggest going to his channel and checking his stuff out. # not sponsored. But like, because I don't know about this stuff that much, but from what I've learned from him, I was like, oh, okay, this makes sense, and I agree, and I don't really want to watch it. And a lot of it has to do with politics and the climate, and the writing is suffering. and they're losing fans en masse because of the decisions they're making. Like you're alienating your audience because of what you're trying to get some brownie points within the hot community that's happened, the climate. Like, it just doesn't make sense, right? Like, but you have to understand the show that's going to run that long is going to suffer from things, right? Like, nothing's impervious. Check out that guy's channel, though.
Okay, that's
I don't agree with it. I don't agree with it. I don't like it. I find it ironic and hilarious that as soon as the Doctor transformed into Jodie Whittaker, the TARDIS spit her out. I thought that was fucking hilarious.
That was kind of funny, actually.
Yeah, and I was just like, oh, that's summation of the series.
Tiny TARDIS was also pretty fun.
Mm-hmm.
Tiny little TARDIS. I love the tiny TARDIS.
But yeah, like
with Capaldi in Tiny TARDIS.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. She just erased everything. Like, there was that one episode where it was literally, she went back. I can't remember the again, I shouldn't even be talking about this, but just because I don't have all the information. But yeah, she went back and nullified everything that all the other Doctors have ever done. So every sacrifice that was ever made, every decision that was ever made, anyone that was ever helped or hurt was completely erased. And then she went back and started everything over. It's all new, and everything that's ever was gone. Misogynistic or something. I don't know. And so that's what was upsetting people, because they basically just took a huge dump on the entire series as a whole.
See, I can't speak to how true, like, all of what you said was, because I haven't seen enough of the Jodie Whittaker stuff.
Mm-hmm. Oh, yeah. If you keep watching, and you'll see.
I only saw the first season, and I found it really wasn't as interesting as the other seasons were, or series, I guess, technically.
No. And a lot of that has to do with the writing. Have a female Doctor, sure. Why the hell not?
I would have loved to have a female Doctor. I just feel like the writing was a little bit weaker than
awful.
A lot of the...
Completely agree. I completely agree with you.
Because, I mean, like, you transform into a new human every time. It's limits. Sorry, anything can happen. Woo! We had a female Master. Why not have a female Doctor? Sure.
Absolutely.
Well, he has said in the past that he has been a woman. There have been hints from the Doctor himself that he has been a woman. Do you not remember that?
Which episode are you talking? I feel was it I think I might recall Smith maybe saying something like that
before Whittaker was even a thought.
Yeah, no, yeah, he has. But then that lends to where does all that fit in the timeline, right? We're led to believe that the old, what's his name there, Kevin? The first one.
William Hartnell.
Yeah, aren't we led to believe that he was the first Doctor?
At first, yeah, until this all happened, William Hartnell was the original Doctor, the OG.
Right. So, yeah, then again, if they're going to change the back canon and make it that he was not the first iteration of the Doctor and there were previous Doctors, then yeah, sure, of course. He could have been a freaking midget at one point. Why not?
But also, they played around with mind wiping with Capaldi and Jenna Coleman.
Little person, sorry.
With Capaldi, me, the character named me, and Jenna Coleman, like they played around with mind wiping there. So I wonder if that would have some play into it.
Well, maybe, yeah. I don't see why not, because he's always been Maverick, right? Like, things the Time Lords are kind of upset with the Doctor and on as a whole, because he just kind of goes around like a friggin' cowboy and does whatever he wants, right? Like,
I want that.
Pretty great with it too.
Yeah, like he wasn't even supposed to have a TARDIS. He stole.
He stole a TARDIS, ran away, and immediately broke it.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah,
and that just lends credence to him whole. Right? He's brash and sometimes irrational, but his hearts are in the right place.
Exactly. Yeah.
But yeah, I don't know. I think that's the biggest thing. Like don't get me wrong. I have no problem with having a female Doctor. Pretty dope idea. It's just that the writing is brutal, and I just want them, like I said, with any other thing in the same vein, do it for the right reasons.
I think I agree with you on that one.
Completely agree. Now we need to get. We're going to switch topics for a little bit, but not too much of a switch of a topic. We're going to talk about a female that's in the show that is kind of weird, because I think it's kind of funny. Do you remember the episode The Doctor's Daughter?
That's what I was going to talk about, my dude.
The Doctor's Daughter?
That was my thing. About
that was
how
your thing?
Tennant,
Okay. All right, then I'll let you do
yeah.
it. Go ahead.
Well, no, you do it. You're way more prepared, I guarantee.
No.
Like it was just off the top of my head. Oh yeah, this is a thing.
The Doctor's Daughter the Doctor's Daughter in the show was played by the Doctor's daughter in real life.
And also technically the Doctor's wife.
The Doctor's wife.
The Doctor's daughter is the Doctor's daughter and wife.
That's correct.
Ew.
The reason why that
who was the actor?
Well, okay, like let's be
Georgia.
real. She's not really his daughter.
No,
Okay.
obviously. Who is which doctor was it?
Georgia Moffat, Peter Davidson. Peter Davidson, who played the Fifth Doctor, his daughter is Georgia Moffat. And Georgia Moffat played the Doctor's daughter in the episode The Doctor's Daughter.
Mm-hmm.
Where David Tennant, the 10th Doctor, we'll go with him, we'll call him the 10th Doctor. The 10th Doctor then met Georgia Moffat while filming that episode. David Tennant then married Georgia Moffat, making the Doctor the Doctor is his own father-in-law.
No, okay, now you're just getting weird on us here. This is talking about in show, out of show. Come on now, let's straighten the. You lost the plot.
Look,
you lost the plot.
The actors that play Doctor Who will always be known as the Doctor,
okay.
regardless.
Is she any
Matt Smith is the Doctor. Tennant is the Doctor. If we talk about them all, yeah.
She any related to what? No.
Is she related to Stephen Moffat?
No.
Okay.
No. Weird. He has the same last name.
I feel bad for Matt Smith with Moffat anyway. You know.
Yeah, Moffat he's a good writer, but like I don't know, he kind of lost his shit there for a while, I think, and some of his stuff was really suffering.
I mean, I mostly talked about how he wanted to give Matt a fez, and then he said, no, we're going to give him the fez, and then we're going to kill the fez.
He's a strange man, but I mean, he did write all the Sherlock. I think he did most of the Sherlock Holmes episodes.
Yes, he did.
Sherlock.
And
Bendy Dick Cucumber Patch.
Yeah, sure, Sherlock. I should just call it just Sherlock. But yeah, also amazing freaking show, phenomenal show.
Bendy Dick Cucumber Patch.
Are you really hung up on that?
Banondalick Kumbomberbat.
All right, so now it's time for audience participation.
Woo! Because we care what you people have to say.
Because we do care what people have to say.
tnhnj@yahoo.com, please.
Yes, email us. You can get us on our social media, and you know all about the social media. I'll say that all again at the end. Now, on our Facebook page, I posted a few days back that today's episode was going to be all about Doctor Who, and I asked you guys if you'd watched any. If so, who's your favorite Doctor, your favorite companion, favorite alien? And I asked you guys to post it below. And I had a couple people message me. I had a couple people thing on here from one of our listeners. His name is Blair. He writes a lot. He wrote quite a bit, actually. So I'm going to read it. I'm going to read the whole thing. It's actually a couple paragraphs, but I'll read the whole thing.
Jesus Christ, Blair. What the hell are you trying to do to us over here?
He says, Tom Baker will always be the image I think of first. Tennant was certainly the best of the modern era.
Hell yeah.
Capaldi was magical in the role too, but he was saddled with a lot of bad writing.
Yeah, I can agree with that.
That's true.
The Pond era needs to be erased from history because the Doctor should never be the sidekick. But the supporting cast for the Smiths,
I thought that was interesting.
Run outside those in the TARDIS might have been the best any Doctor's ever had.
Mm-hmm.
Now he goes on about the Daleks. The Daleks will always be the iconic alien of the show. They are they are simply perfect, even in all their horrible 70s trash can wrapped in tinfoil with a plunger sticking out of them glory.
Yes.
That's true. The purity of their evil is refreshing to see kept alive to this day and age. And the last one here, see, of course, there's something fun about the Suntarians and their Mr. Potato Head rage that always entertain.
Yes, all right. I have to agree wholeheartedly with everything Blair said.
Yes, me too. Me
Good
too.
man.
Elizabeth?
I really think it was interesting to see Matt Smith as the Doctor in more of a sidekick role. That really that put him in the Doctor in a spot where he wasn't entirely certain what to do. I felt it was an interesting idea.
I completely agree.
I think it was fun for like an episode or two, but it really got
It went for a whole season. It went for like a whole season.
Yeah, it was just like
it shouldn't have been as long as it was, definitely.
No.
But it felt like you could have had a really more interesting arc there at least.
Mm-hmm.
That's true. Now Elizabeth said that her first Doctor was David Eccleston, so he'll always be her most favorite Doctor. What are you doing? What was that? What was that?
I have no idea.
Oh, okay. She really liked Donna as a companion, and she would have loved to see Eccleston's Doctor and Donna together. Can you imagine that?
Oh God. Actually,
nothing
I think
would get done.
Yeah, I think Eccleston and Donna would have been hilarious, but like Donna was okay for like an episode or two, but like Catherine Tate is she's great in small doses, at least for me. She was just so outrageous, and
she was really over the top, and I feel like a lot of her, the writing that involved Donna, it really seemed to drag on a bit for me.
Yeah,
like the episode Turn Left.
Oh yeah,
that one, like it felt like I was watching a fucking double feature length.
Yeah, that was a pretty bad one.
Well, and it was almost like he had to babysit her a little bit, and like I just didn't feel that as a character she was an overly competent companion. And again, I think like maybe one or two episodes would have been great, but it was just like she had a pretty long run there where it's like, oh God, please, no more talk.
There was a bit of a redeeming thing at the end with the hand.
Mm-hmm.
Like that did help, and that was pretty interesting. Like it was a cool concept, but
the hand that got chopped off during the Tennant's first battle on the top of that ship.
Yeah.
Sword. Okay, so I got one more from our audience participation. Chantel says that her favorite Doctor was David Tennant, and her favorite
lots of Tennant love. Eh?
I know, and the weirdest character for her was Cassandra.
Cassandra, who's that?
Which one?
The skin lady.
Oh, Lady Gaga.
The last human.
Lady Gaga.
God, yeah. Oh, she was evil, man. Like
just a piece of skin with eyes and a mouth.
Human. That was such a messed up concept. Like
that was amazing.
Me. Yeah, moisturize me. She was so freaking evil. Like when she stole what's her name's body there at that one point, I was just like,
wasn't it
Rose?
Isn't it Rose and Tennant?
Oh, that was one of my favorite episodes with Rose.
It was hilarious to watch David Tennant like act that way.
Yeah, it was.
Yeah, that was funny.
that was pretty funny.
Oh man. Yeah, I feel a little bad for Cassandra, but at the same time, it's like, man, bet you crazy.
Cassandra.
Well, I feel like we haven't actually touched much on that exact question that you posted, Kev.
What you want to hear ours? You want to hear our favorite Doctors? Is that
do we have any more audience participation?
No more audience participation. We only got a couple people this time.
That's it.
We only had a few people this time.
Well, thanks for reaching out, guys. We appreciate it.
Yeah, it really does mean a lot.
That was. I love it. I love every time that happens. People do that. Who wants to start first? We'll end the show this way because I think we're going to do a shorter show this time. So who wants to start first? Their favorite Doctor, their favorite companion, and their favorite alien or bad guy.
I nominate Aaron.
Oh. All right. I mean, to be perfectly
honest, why?
Yeah, to be perfectly honest, I'm kind of in the same camp with Blair. Like, I really appreciate his sort of synopsis. Love Tennant. Tennant will always be my Doctor. Like I said, the acting, the writing, everything was sort of just great for me. Like, it really hit home with me. Like, I loved Smith, lots of fun, but there were times where I was kind of just like looking forward to the next episode. Like I was just bored with him, sort of like, okay, let's get this over with. And I like Capaldi, like in the fact that he's right. The writing suffered a little bit, but he had this magic to him. It was really interesting to see the Doctor choose to be like an older man, and I really wish they explored that a little bit more. remember they touched on it where it was like, why did you choose this form or whatever? And as he's coming to the end of his life, perhaps, and so I thought they should have explored that a bit more. But he was fun. Like he had this sort of senility to him that was this he's all over the place. Daleks, 100%. I still want one. Like I've been hounding forums and things online where you can actually buy them. Make your own. Yeah, dude. Like you can get them. I think it's like around $2,000 for. Yeah, a little bit more obviously for ones that were used in the show, but like they have a lot of them like in storage because they've had hundreds of them, right? So like I want one, and then to put it in my living room and just like it's just such an iconic image. It's just they're evil. Oh, they're just awesome. Actually, I'm a little partial to the Cybermen. I've always thought they were pretty neat. They're sort of their transformation over time has gotten pretty cool. Seeing them how they were in the 60s and 70s to now.
Even the Cybermites, that was pretty interesting.
Yeah, like you can do a lot with them, which is really cool. And it was always funny how they showed up in the show. Oh no, Cybermen! It's like. And well,
because it's a whole new thing. Like, all right, what upgrade do they have now? What can't we do? What are we going to have to do to beat this old but new enemy?
Mm-hmm. Yeah. I mean, that's the thing, right? The staples, the mainstays. There's a reason that they have staying power. There's a couple other little like different monsters and things.
That's a good start. That's a really good start.
I think that was it, right?
Your turn, Mr. Will.
Okay, Kevin, always going last with you.
I'm going last. That's because I don't have such elaborate things to say about the Doctors. I just like them because I like the whatever it is I like about them. So I can't go on for.
I don't have elaborate things. I just like what I like.
Well, then go ahead. You want me to go first?
What was Buddy's name? What was the guy's name, Kevin? The Dalek leader.
Dalek Khan.
No, the guy that made.
Oh my god!
That's Oh my god! I can't remember. Hold on, I think I have it here.
D or
it's
something.
on the tip of my tongue. It has to start with a D.
Yeah, like Dagon or Dagoth or something weird like that.
No. Yeah, you're looking it up, aren't you?
Yeah, I need to know.
Yeah. He was
Davros.
Davros, that's it.
Davros, yeah.
Davros. I liked him, especially there was the one episode with him and Capaldi.
Him and Capaldi, that fucking hit me.
Yeah, dude, like these two ancient enemies coming together again. That was just like, oh, this is cool. And just like the character design.
Though.
Yeah, and the kid, that blew my mind. I was like, oh my god.
And just how he left.
Yeah, and like that's the Doctor in a nutshell, right? Like sometimes he creates his own monsters. And he has to live that hard life. He has to make those hard choices sometimes. Like that was just.
It's really interesting how he wouldn't have had that reason to leave him if he didn't leave him.
Yeah,
that's wild.
Yeah, Davros is good. I like that. But again, Dalek. All right, sorry.
Yeah.
I just want.
Yeah, okay, I guess so, I'll stop giving you hell, Kevin. I'm sorry.
Do you want me to go first? I love you too.
No, I'll go. It's
right.
fine.
All right, you go.
For me, I love you too, Aaron.
We love you too, Aaron.
Oh.
Even though I have to see you 5 days out of the week. It's okay.
Oh, Kevin.
So I think it's a very specific sort of era for two different Doctors.
Mm-hmm.
For me, it's end of Tennant, beginning of Smith.
Mm-hmm.
At the end of the David Tennant arc, like you see it. He's been through his lessons. He's done what he needs to do, and that sort of persists into Matt Smith with trying to face these new problems and take them on how he would as 10th.
Mm-hmm.
And he's starting to learn a little bit more and grow a little bit more. That sort of area there is probably my favorite. And I feel like a good amount of people actually feel the same way. It is like more people think of Tennant and Smith than Capaldi or Whittaker or Eccleston.
Yeah,
when they think Doctor Who.
That's true. That's totally agreeable. Yeah, I totally understand that.
Yeah, well put. Gotta say.
The sonic screwdrivers.
Yeah.
Oh my god, I love that. What happened to to the Sonic with Smith? Didn't he overloaded it by sending a signal somewhere?
He did.
I think that was it. I can't remember off the top of my head.
Yeah, and then he had to get a new one, and but that's the thing too. I always liked the Sonics were a really big part of the Doctor.
He originally never had
from his grunge phase to like the sort of messy steampunky grunge to the neat, sleek, and modern.
I think the sonic screwdriver actually only entered into Doctor Who canon. I think the fourth Doctor, I believe.
It was like a weird stick for a while, wasn't it?
He never had a sonic screwdriver.
Mm-hmm.
I think Capaldi shows up with his sunglasses, which was hilarious.
Yeah, the sonic sunglasses. Oh
those were
his midlife crisis phase. Very close second, the Capaldi midlife crisis.
Yeah, I liked that. Oh, little side trivia. What's the only thing the sonic screwdriver can't deal with?
Wood.
I always loved that.
Yeah.
He's like, damn
But
wood.
what's funny about it is that during the Day of the Doctor, the War Doctor put something in there that could handle wood.
Well, he didn't put something in. The reason why it can't handle wood is because it takes too long to sort of deal with this organic matter.
Mm-hmm.
So, it tries to deal with it, and it takes too long. It's just impractical.
Exactly.
So, in theory, it could deal with wood. It just takes way too long for it to be worth mentioning.
And
so it goes through
from
War Doctor. It says, "All right, start a scan. Tennant still scanning. Smith, scan complete."
yeah, it was neat how like the generational thing went. That was
3 of them in a room, and none of them thought to try the door.
All right. So do you have your favorite alien?
I would argue, like, maybe not. Definitely the Cybermen. I think.
Yeah, okay.
Nice.
Like the Cybermen, like they're always upgrading themselves. They're always changing. They're always something new, but something that everyone knows at the same time. It keeps people in a familiar state and brings a sense of comfort despite the tense moments in the episode.
They come in many forms.
Yeah, like the Cybermites. The Cybermites, I was more tense about that because I didn't know how it was going to turn out. Like, I knew that it was going to be wild.
Mm-hmm.
I was really interested in that. And I find myself often going back to that episode and rewatching it.
Yeah, because they kind of had like that like face hugger sort of thing, like they're just whipping around. They're
throwing a little bit of tech onto somebody, and then they almost got Smith in that episode too, and they had to do a game of chess.
Yes, they did. Oh man, I remember that whole.
That was very symbolic.
Yes,
that very, very much. That hit me.
Oh, I want to sit and rewatch Doctor Who now.
Well, they're on Crave. They're on cable. They're not on Netflix anymore. I actually had to purchase Crave in order to watch Doctor Who.
I do have Crave.
Yeah, if you have Netflix and you have a VPN, it's UK Netflix.
If you have that, then yeah. But if you don't, then it's on Crave. So that's where I had to do it. Now mine one is kind of odd. Mine's the War Doctor. My favorite Doctor is the War Doctor because that's the Doctor.
I'm gonna go on you here when I say explain.
Yeah, explain.
My favorite Doctor is the War Doctor. Why? Because he was the Doctor that wasn't the Doctor. He got shit done. He was fed up. There was no plans, no half-ass plans, no running, no weird weird go-arounds for things.
He didn't dance around.
He
just went
exactly. He went directly to the problem, solved it, and got the fuck out.
Kicked some ass.
That's exactly what it was. He went in there, kicked ass, and left. You know what I mean?
Every time I see him, all I can think of is like celebrity guest.
Yeah.
Because like you just have all these other characters who are most known for their role as the Doctor, And then you get John Hurt in there, who's like a well-established
Like
film actor.
Shakespearean actor too.
Yeah, exactly. And so like when you see him in the lineup, it just looks like celebrity guest John Hurt.
But that's my favorite Doctor because again I loved
very
Eccleston
arc too.
I loved Eccleston because he was my first Doctor. You always love your first Doctor. Eccleston was my first one.
Always.
And I'm also on the Tennant train. I think Tennant did a phenomenal job. But if I had to pick one, it would be the War Doctor for that.
He was awesome.
They put a whole story arc for him in that movie, despite focusing on 3 doctors.
That's right.
Yeah.
And other characters. There was a whole arc, and you could see the evolution. You could see what he was learning from Tennant and Smith, despite their silly nature.
That's right. I became you. You're me. I'm you. Yeah.
Why are you pointing your screwdrivers like that? They're scientific instruments, not water pistols.
What are you going to do? What are you going to do? Throw a cabinet? Build a cabinet at them?
I love
the defensive stance with it, though. I love it. Like, what are they going to do, though, for real?
My favorite companion, you probably already know who my favorite companion is.
Is it Rose?
It's Rose.
Mm-hmm.
What a babe. Absolutely.
Love me some Rose.
And I guess
I also enjoy Rose, but because of character things, Kevin.
Oh. Sure. I like Rose because she's a great
because of character things.
Because of character things.
No, but for real, like she brought a really interesting new perspective that the Doctor had to really take into account.
She has great character.
Well, she was a strong, you know what I mean? She was a strong female character, and she was the she was the girl that wanted to run away, right? Like she was looking for that adventure. She was craving that sort of escape.
No chips every night, and sitting at the flat watching the telly.
Yeah,
that's right.
Like she was living that mundane life. She, I think, was a great representation of a lot of us, a lot of people in that situation, right? And especially in Britain. And like she'd lost her father, just the 9 to 5, that crap that we all deal with, and all of a sudden this magical being comes in and says like, you know what? There's an entire universe out there. Come with me and check it out.
And she ended up saving it.
Yeah, exactly. And
she ended up saving it.
Yeah, it's sort of romantic in a way.
Now, my favorite bad guy, I guess it would have to be the Centaurians. It would be the Centaurians, and because at first they were this big military, powerhouse, but then around Capaldi, when I forget the name of the Centaurian, I forget his name now. Mr. Potato Head. I guess.
Yeah.
Remember when Smith went off at him like, "I'm the clever one, you're the potato one."
Yeah.
That was great. That was a great moment.
Always picking on him.
I love that everything he does, like he comes up with this great, brilliant idea for something, and then he's going to explode it for the glory of all the Centauri.
Yeah.
Like could be
this really beautiful, well thought out plan that ends with like explosions. God damn it!
For the glory of Centaur, yeah. And I'm like, oh man, I love that.
Glory of the Centaur.
Oh fuck! Who's the director? Who's Michael Bay?
Michael Bay.
It's a very Michael Bay thing.
Yeah, it's an entire speech.
It's an Michael. We outed Michael Bay. We have to go.
Oh
shit! We gotta go. We gotta go now. I can hear them coming.
What were the ones, the rhino-looking dudes?
Those were the
Remember when they took the hospital and put it on?
Yeah. Kojo fo yo do fo yo do.
Yeah. Those guys are great. That kills me. Freaking Tennant's just speaking that. I was like, oh God, what's happening?
It's the weirdest thing. Fo yo do yo go fo yo. Like it's the Jadoon. That's it.
The Jadoon.
The Jadoon.
Created by Russell T. Davis.
Russell, killing it, bud.
The Jadoon. Well, you know what? That's a great little segue to the end of the show. I think Doctor Who could be a topic for another show. I think we can probably do multiple shows on Doctor Who.
I would think so if we could plot it out proper.
Oh yeah, absolutely. So that was really good. We found out the history of Doctor Who and you know.
Before we go, one of my yes, Rose is great, but one of my favorites is Jack Harkness.
Yeah. I can't believe we did an entire episode of Doctor Who without mentioning Captain Jack.
We have to talk about Captain Jack.
What the fuck is wrong with us?
Love Captain Jack.
How did we not mention Captain Jack?
I wanted to see so much more of him and the Doctor. Like, I thought that was anything that he touched.
Wasn't there a show called Torchwood, though?
Yeah, he was Torchwood.
Yeah.
But, like, every time he showed up, like, he was just...
He showed up...
do a little stint as a companion, and it was awesome.
Did you know he showed up recently during Jodie's?
Oh, yeah.
Right. But he never shared any screen time with Jodie.
See, really? Like, what the hell?
The Doctor never shared any screen time. Yeah.
Well, see, and then there's just a missed opportunity, right? Like, you've got the female Doctor and, like, Jack Harkness, who I'm pretty sure is like an openly gay character. Like, that should have been the whole series.
No, I don't think gay, bisexual.
I think he's bisexual. I think I think he's like anything that walks, really.
Yeah, which
it's a really like it is a missed opportunity to have that Captain Jack flirt, but also it's 2020, and if we do that, then we're sexist.
Yeah.
Yeah,
but he was great. He was a great character. Awesome. The actor playing him was so good. Like every time Jack showed up, I was like, "Sick! All right, Captain Jack, let's do this. It's gonna be a rip roaring good time."
All right. Well, that was an interesting show. So everybody, thanks for listening to There's Nobody Here Named Josh podcast. I'm Kevin. This is Will.
What it do?
This is Aaron.
Woo!
We're produced by Adam Upper, aka
Chunkman Stump.
Chunkman Stump.
Chunk Stumpman. The
producer extraordinary.
Stump Chunkman.
Stump Chunkman.
Producer extraordinary. You can follow us what we're doing on our social media at There's No Josh on Instagram and Twitter, and There's Nobody Here Named Josh podcast on Facebook and even on YouTube. And you can find us wherever this podcast, wherever you get your podcast, you can find us there. And our email. What's our email, Will?
Our email is tnhnj@yahoo.com. It's just the opening, like the first letter of each, word in our title.
Yahoo.
You can Yahoo. You can find us there. And we will see you next week
for some more Josh or lack thereof.
Yeah.
Take care.
I don't want to go.